Tonight, we bring glory to Azeroth. Tonight, we are on a quest.
Fuck you talking about? This is nothing special. We have been on many quests since the servers launched in 04.
No, you fool. We are quite literally on a quest. God damn it, dumbest orc. A meta quest. Christ's sake, he's fully immersed. Oh, okay. Put your hand up to your face. Feel that? The quest we are literally on.
Holy shitballs, you are right. We have VR at WoW now.
You can use any HMD capable of running the CVR.
VRified Games.
What's up, Lil? Yeah. And living there talking head. Coming to you live with Daigo in VRified Games. How we doing, Daigo?
Hey Ed, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. So what's this now? We're back up in the retro games or what?
Kinda, yeah. You see, Ed, this is one of those tentpole moments in VR. When a mod for a beloved game comes out and just blows the floodgates open and leaves everyone in a state of shock and awe. Now, don't adjust your sets. This isn't a trick. That's not a VR chat world. This is not Vorpex. This is an honest-to-God VR mod for World of Warcraft. Quite possibly the most famous and well-known MMORPG to have ever existed.
Whoa.
That's right, Ed, whoa.
Well, yeah, that's why I said whoa, man, whoa.
Yeah, whoa, World of Warcraft.
Whoa, World of Warcraft,
Yep. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you're not abbreviating. Okay, so this is down to the amazing work of Marulu and Street Rat. Now, those modders' names should be familiar to you if you're into flat to VR gaming. If not, they have quite the pedigree behind them. These are two of the devs responsible for getting games such as Half-Life 2 VR and Final Fantasy XIV VR up and running in full 60OF VR for our gaming pleasure.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And they're back now after the success they've enjoyed with Final Fantasy XIV and the whole massively multiplayer online RPG type game, which is something that's been sorely lacking in the VR space. We've had a few attempts at bringing the MMO gameplay type into VR. We've had a few, but they've fizzled out. They fizzled out over the years. So what these guys have done has taken tried and true MMO, such as Final Fantasy XIV, which has enjoyed success for many, many years, and they've added VR to that to great success. Many of the VR community have jumped on the bandwagon and are now fully enjoying MMOs in VR. So what do you do with that? Well, you double down on it. You go ahead and you tackle the most famous, most well-known MMORPG in existence. That being World of Warcraft, which has been in existence in some form or another since 2004. So that is 20 years of gaming history right there. Now, World of Warcraft, or indeed the World of Warcraft, didn't exist in a vacuum. It's existed long before the MMORPG. There is in fact a trilogy of games played from a top-down view, isometric, has elements of real-time strategy, role-playing games, and tactical warfare, all mixed into one game type. And it's enjoyed great success. Warcraft, Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. And its many expansions. There have been numerous spin-offs throughout the years as well, on mobile, on console. There has even been a Warcraft movie directed by Duncan Jones, which many have unfairly compared to Lord of the Rings. It was never supposed to compete with Lord of the Rings, guys, come on, despite what the studio wanted. It's a fun movie in its own right. It's sad that no continuation has happened as of yet, because it was very lore friendly, it was very much in the world, and it worked for what it was. Now, back in 2004, the concept of MMO was fairly new. Multiplayer games were obviously a thing. They were very, very popular. LAN parties were a thing. Playing with your buddies online on PC is becoming more and more popular. So studios started to look at this and go, we can capitalize on this even further if we push the technology to its absolute limits. Get as many people as possible playing online in our game as possible. This led to the term massively multiplayer online game. So what kind of genres would work in that? Well, you would imagine first-person perspective / war simulators. Yep, they do work. But in short bursts. These games, like your Call of Duty, like your Battlefield, they all kind of they're like a flash in the pan. You play them for some time, and then you forget about them, and then there's an update or a new game a year or so later, and you jump back into it. But what about staying power? What sort of a gameplay type keeps you coming back, keeps you grinding, gets rewards for that grind, makes you want to stay in that world? Well, that's the role-playing game. So, rightfully so, MMORPG was born. And World of Warcraft may not have been the first, but it was the first with staying power. Many existed before, many existed after, and their servers have long since closed. World of Warcraft has remained forever cemented in the hearts of gamers and nerds alike, and it holds a very special place in gaming history. Hell, it even outlasted Lord of the Rings Online by a good 20 years, so there's something there. But what does VR add to the mix? Well, if you've played their modification of Final Fantasy XIV, you know what to expect. Not only can you play it in the traditional way, third person, follow the protagonist, but you can also now play in first person. You have 60 UF head tracking, you have motion control, and it behaves just like a regular VR game, albeit with the sensibilities of a role-playing game. Yep, hell of a lot of fun. Now, I do have to make a confession. Although I've been waxing lyrical about the merits of World of Warcraft and its 20-year history, it's a game I've never actually played. Believe it or not. Even though World of Warcraft was quite popular, I was not the biggest fan of role-playing games back then. No, I was more into survival horror, I was more into action-oriented gameplay. Although I understood and knew the merits of role-playing games, it just wasn't for me. It wasn't something I'd go out and spend my money on. I'd happily sit and play Final Fantasy VII, but I wouldn't fork out $70 for a copy. Well, that's just me. So we're very excited to have a first look here. World of Warcraft, not only running in VR, but running at all. This is my very first time playing World of Warcraft. And yeah, I'm liking it so far. The opening cinematic, the setup to get into the world, all of that is fantastic. It hooks you in.
Greetings.
VR giving you that sense of presence, that sense of scale. Yeah, I'm inside the world of Azeroth, and I'm loving it so far. So just for your information, guys, this only supports World of Warcraft up until the expansion Wrath of the Lich King. It doesn't go beyond that. So if you've got later editions of the game, you will need to down patch it and follow various instructions, especially on the GitHub, on how to set up the servers.
Good day to you.
Nothing is complicated. It's very, very easy. I was up and running within minutes, and it was a whole lot of fun. So I'm going to dive back into Azeroth here. I'm going to get fully immersed. Don't know when you're going to see me again. Could be some time. I've heard people getting quite addicted to World of Warcraft in the past and becoming basically shut-ins. So we'll see how we get on. Alright, so okay, peace out. So I guess we're going to leave it there, you guys. Like, comment and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, queries, any critiques, put them down below. If indeed there are any games you'd like us to look at VRifying in the future, put those down below and we will presumably get back to you eventually. You can also follow us on TikTok for our adventures over there, which are basically condensed versions of what we do over here. And yeah, follow us on all social medias. All links will be in the descriptions, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you there also. Alright, VRified Games out.